Jumma Mubarak. Today is Friday and we going to Hazrat, English में बोल रही हूँ. So हम जा रहे हैं हज़रत जाफ़र रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु. ये एक सहाबा थे जितनी मेरी नॉलेज है कि बाकी सारा कुछ गाइड बताएंगे जो जिनको जन्नत की बशारत दुनिया में मिल गई थी. तो हम उनके मज़ार पे जा रहे हैं, उनके मकबरे पे जा रहे हैं, फिर उनके मॉस्क में जाएंगे और भी बहुत ज़्यादा चीज़ें हैं. साथ रहिए. अभी हम नाश्ते के लिए जा रहे हैं. जुमे का दिन है, इंशाल्लाह जुमे की नमाज हज़रत जाफ़र रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु के मॉस्क में पढ़ेंगे, मस्जिद में पढ़ेंगे. और हमारा लंच भी आज लेट होगा तो कहते थे नाश्ता अच्छी तरह से होटल में कर लो. तो सर्दी बहुत ज़्यादा है. मैंने तो कोट, शॉल, कुर्ता, कुर्ते के नीचे एक और वेस्ट और चीज़ें काफ़ी पहनी है क्योंकि कल तो मेरी वो कहते हैं ना पूपू बज गई. ग्लव्स लेके नहीं आई, मुझे नहीं पता था कि इधर इंग्लैंड जैसी सर्दी है. और ट्रेनर भी मैं बस एक ही लेके आई हूँ तो हर जोड़े के साथ वही पहन रही हूँ. एक दो जोड़े नाइस शूज़ लेके आई थी कि शोशा करूँगी, पर शोशा का टाइम नहीं है. तो अब चलते हैं हमारी जुमे की ट्रिप पे. वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
Today we will do now in 5 minutes we'll be in Uyun Musa. Musa's spring water. Okay, it's actually where is the water in Middle East, where is civilization. So the reason why Nabatian they came here because there's water. Okay? And even the local people here before the tourism they used to be Bedouin and have goats and sheep and tents and water. So we'll visit this Uyun Musa. Of course the name maybe it's from Moses' time, maybe not. Okay, we're not sure. When you talk about Moses, you talk about 3,500 years back. Difficult to track where is the water he did on the way from, like when he did his journey from Egypt to Sinai and Jordan. Okay, but some people they say this is from Moses' time.
So हम अब जिस जगह में जा रहे हैं वो उस जगह को कहते हैं मूसा's what this place called, Jihad? Musa Spring Water. So इस जगह का नाम है मूसा स्प्रिंग वाटर. लोगों का अकीदा है कि ये मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम के टाइम से है. तो अब वहाँ हम जाएंगे और ऐसे जगहों पे आपको पता है ऐसे पानी पीने से भी हमारे अकीदा होता है कि शिफा मिलती है. तो अब हम वहाँ जा रहे हैं. सो ये इधर हम आ गए हैं मूसा स्प्रिंग वाटर पे. सबको सर्दी लग रही है. कुड़कियाँ बनी हुई हैं, कुकड़ियाँ. बिस्मिल्लाह आ जाए.
Actually, the thing is strange here that we are top of the mountain now, around 1,400 meters above the sea level, and the water like flooding from top of the mountain, which is unusual.
Unusual.
Normally the spring water on the valleys or in the beginning of the mountain. This is top of the mountain and water coming down under this road.
The Moses Spring. इस पे जो है ना होटल है सामने जो है मिस्टेक मारा है इसलिए यहाँ से पा जाएगा. इस फॉर्म में मोजर स्थान
ज़्यादा ले लो निगत भर दो. सो ये रॉक भी उसी टाइम का है जिस टाइम पे ये चश्मा आया था इधर. हमने बोतलें भर दी हैं. बिल्कुल पहाड़ है और पहाड़ों में ये जगह है. और उस स्प्रिंग को यहाँ पे जो स्प्रिंग वाटर है उसको यहाँ पे महफूज किया हुआ है. और पानी कहते हैं ऊपर कहीं पहाड़ से आता है और यहाँ आके कलेक्ट करते हैं. ये
driving to Jabal al-Tahkim, where is we call it al-Ash'ari maqam. Will take around half an hour. Now, just highlights. You know, this man, he's like important from one of the important Sahaba. Okay, he came to Mecca in the beginning of Islam, and he converted to Islam went back to Yemen. By the way, he's from Yemen. His name Abdullah bin Qais. And he went back to Yemen, and he made all his tribe Muslim.
Subhanallah.
Okay, Al-Asha'ira. And they are Qahtaniyin. This is big tribe in Yemen. That's why the Prophet he prayed for Yemen. He said, Allah bless Yemen, because Yemen they became Muslim easy, without war, without any problem with the Prophet. With war we cannot defeat them. They are very strong. So they became Muslim without. So always the Prophet used to pray for Yemen and Sham. So in that time, the Prophet he sent him back to Yemen and said to him, Mu'adh bin Jabal and Abu Musa, go back to Yemen and lead Yemen and teach the people the Islam. So he went back to Aden city in Yemen. Okay. So Prophet he used him because this guy he learned Islam and he was reciting Quran in very good voice, and he has wisdom. Okay, he's a wise man. So he sent him to Yemen to rule Aden. And after that, Abu Bakr and Uthman, they used him to be the leader of Iraq, Al-Kufa and Al-Basra. The story of this mountain, I will not go for the deep details because different reference, different books, different story. But anyway, just briefly, after Sayyidina Muhammad, Abu Bakr he became the leader, and all the Muslims they agreed with that. Then we had Umar, then we had Uthman, then we had Ali. And you know that Al-Khawarij, the people who are they made fitna, they killed Uthman and Ali. Now Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan, he's from the same tribe of Uthman, Bani Umayyah. So Muawiyah he was upset, or maybe, I don't know, maybe he made excuse not to follow Ali. He said, you have to take the revenge of the people who killed Uthman. And Ali he didn't want to make wars between Muslims because we have a lot of problems outside with force, with Roman. So Muawiyah he refused to obey Ali. And Ali he said, we cannot divide the Muslim country two parts. We have to fight Muawiyah. Okay? And they made the battle called Siffin. Ali, army, Sayyidina Ali, and Muawiyah bin Abi Sufyan. And Muawiyah who was the leader of Sham, this area, Palestine, Syria, Jordan, Lebanon. And Ali he was the leader of Iraq. Okay? And almost Ali defeated Muawiyah in the war. And who was the leader of the army of Muawiyah? Amr bin al-As. And this guy he was smart. So what he did, almost they defeated, they brought the Quran and they cut the paper and they put the paper on the sword, and they said to Ali, how come you fight Muslim? And Ali he said to his companion, continue fighting, they are liars, they want us to stop because they've been defeated, continue fighting. And he said something very nice. He said, they're saying a truth, but they want something wrong from this truth. So okay, we are Muslim all, but they are in the wrong way. We have to fight them because we cannot divide the Muslim country. So the army of Ali, they stopped fighting because they saw the paper of the Quran on the swords of the other army. So they stopped fighting and they decided to make tahkim. Tahkim, again, what does it mean in English? Arbitration. Okay, so they choose a man from Sham and a man from Iraq, and they will come in the middle, to the area in the middle between Sham and Iraq. So they decided to come here. We call it Jabal al-Tahkim, okay, in Jordan, which is the area in between Sham and between Iraq. And who met here? So the Iraqi, or the people of Ali, they did choose Abu Musa al-Ash'ari to talk behalf of them and make the decision. and the people of Sham, of Muawiyah, they did choose Amr bin al-As. Both of them, they came here, and everybody brought with him 400 men to be witness. 400 men from here, 400 men from here, and they sit down and they did talk about who will be the leader. And we have now many stories. So what they decided, we are not very sure, but most of the story says they decided none of Muawiyah and Ali will be the leader, and the leader will be chosen after 1 year from 100 of the Sahaba. They will decide that from Medina. So they said Sahaba in Medina, 100 of them will decide who is the leader after 1 year. But after this, we had fitna as well, and fighting with Khawarij and fighting with Persian, too many problems, and they never decided who is the leader. So what happened? Muawiyah, he stayed the leader of Sham, and Ali, he stayed the leader of Iraq. But Ali is the Khalifa. Okay, of course is Ali. You know, he's Ali, it's very important in Islam. So our heart is with Ali. But we cannot be like, we cannot hate Muawiyah as well. We cannot hate the Muawiyah people because it's fitna. We cannot go in between them. But the right is with Ali. Okay? So here in Jabal At-Tahkim, and I will go up with you because this is my first time to go up.
Okay.
Okay? Any question about this? So this is the area where Abu Musa al-Ash'ari and Amr ibn al-As, they decided to sort out the problem between Ali and Muawiyah.
Okay.
But we have to say the truth and al-haq with Ali.
With Ali. रज़ियल्लाहु ताला। जिहाद ने हमें बताया कि ये जबल अल-तहकीम है, जिस पे मुआविया और अली रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु का एक मुआहदा हुआ था कि इनमें लड़ाई स्टॉप की थी। तो इसको, इस पहाड़ को इसीलिए बहुत अकीदत से देखा जाता है। और हमारा सारा ग्रुप ऊपर जा रहा है, उस पहाड़ के ऊपर जाएगा, और इसको जबल अल-तहकीम कहते हैं। सारे तो जा रहे हैं, पर मुझे घुटने का प्रॉब्लम है, मैं भी पीछे पीछे जा रही हूँ। और कितना प्यारा ये समा है कि सब ऐसी प्यारी जगह पे जा रहे हैं। ये इस ज़माने में ऐसा बिल्कुल बयाबान है, तो आप सोच लें कि इतने हज़ार साल पहले ये जगह कैसी होगी कि यहाँ पे अली रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु ने आके इस जगह को चूज़ किया कि यहाँ पे आके हम मीटिंग करें। मैं बातें करती हूँ, रिकॉर्ड का बटन प्रेस नहीं करती हूँ। मैं ऊपर नहीं गई जबल अल-तहकीम पे। मेरी ख्वाहिश थी मैं ऊपर जाऊँ, क्योंकि वहाँ जाना चाहती थी, पर मुझे सहीरा ने मना कर दिया। हमारी ग्रुप मेंबर है, अमेजिंग गर्ल है, तो उसने मुझे मना कर दिया कि मामा मत जाओ ऊपर, लूज़ स्टोन है और सेफ़ नहीं है। तो मैं आधे से वापस आ गई, और अब हम नेक्स्ट स्टॉप पे जाएंगे, तो आपको बताती हूँ। अच्छा, आप लोगों को मैंने मूसा स्प्रिंग के बारे में बताया कि ये मूसा स्प्रिंग वाटर है, लेकिन इसके ऊपर भी डिफरेंट कहानियाँ हैं, तो आप प्लीज़ ज़रूर ख़ुद से सर्च कर लेना। हमने तो ब्लेसिंग करके वो पानी पी लिया है, और खैर मेरी अम्मी ने बताया था कि हर जो स्प्रिंग वाटर होता है उसमें शिफा होती है, लेकिन क्योंकि डिफरेंट लोगों की डिफरेंट स्टोरियाँ हैं, तो कुछ लोग इस पे अकीदा रखते हैं कि ये मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम के टाइम से है। कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि नहीं, इसको सिर्फ नाम दिया गया है मूसा स्प्रिंग वाटर, पर ये नहीं भी हो सकते। तो अपनी नॉलेज के मुताबिक आप इसको स्टडी कर लें, क्योंकि आप ये ना समझे कि मैंने कुछ बता दिया तो बस वो 100% सही होगा। क्योंकि आपको पता है कि इस्लाम में कभी कभी कहीं ना कहीं कोई एतराज़ भी होता है, तो इस पे सारे लोग मुत्तफिक नहीं हैं कि मुत्तफिक का मतलब है एग्री। सारे लोग एग्री नहीं हैं कि ये वाकई मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम के वक्त का स्प्रिंग वाटर है, चश्मा है। हो सकता है कि बाद में सिर्फ अकीदत से नाम दिया गया हो, लेकिन है स्प्रिंग वाटर, इतना पता है। और स्प्रिंग वाटर में शफा होती है।
Any question? No? Okay. Let's tell you something about Jordan. We didn't talk about Jordan. First, the name of Jordan in Arabic, Ordon.
Urdun.
And the name coming from the name of the river. Ordon River or Jordan River. Jordan, actually, when they translated the Bible to English, they did make Ordon, make it Jordan. But before it's Ordan. And why the name Ordan come from? Two rivers, they come from Palestine and in Jordan River. One called Dan, one called Or, one called Dan. Ordan.
Okay.
So became Urdun, the area, Urdun. It's a new country, has been established in 1921. Okay, 1921. Before that, what it was here? It was Jordan, Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, one country. And who's ruling us? The Ottomaniyun, Turkish. For 400 years. And sometimes Jordan part of Palestine, sometimes part of Syria. When the British, they occupied us in 1921 until 1947, they did call this area Transjordan. And population of Jordan used to be only 210,000.
Okay.
210,000, which is almost not many people. Most of the people in Syria and Palestine. Okay. The British, they left in 1947. Then now Jordan and Palestine, they became united, which is not all Palestine, West Bank. So now West Bank and East Bank. The East Bank is Jordan. They became one country and we call it the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan. When he come, they thought, oh, maybe he's Muhammad, but he's Jafar. So he looked like Muhammad.
So we visiting Jafar radiallahu ta'ala anhu
Let's explain more about Jafar later on.
Yeah, and he was brother of
the brother of Ali. So Jafar, the cousin of Muhammad bin Abi Talib. And he's the same age of Muhammad as well.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Same age.
Wow, okay.
The mother of Jafar and Ali, her name Fatima.
Fatima, okay.
She used to look after Muhammad. Okay. Fatima bint Azd. Ali, he was adopted from Muhammad because Abu Talib was poor and he has 10 or 11 sons.
Yeah.
So he Muhammad, he adopted Ali when he was 10 years old. And he was the first boy he entered Islam.
Yeah,
Ali.
he was the first one, yeah.
So talk a little bit about why we are coming here. Okay, so in Karak, we are going to area called Mu'ta. Okay, area called Mu'ta. And Mu'ta is the battle area, the first battle between Muslim and Roman. Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, he sent army to fight the Roman. The reason is, he sent a letter with a Sahabi. Okay, and they killed the Sahabi on the way. And in that time, it's like, why you kill the man who carrying letter? Nothing to do with him. So because they killed him, Muhammad said, we are not going to talk with them. We have to defeat the Roman and send them back to Rome. Because this is Arab land, not Roman land. So he sent 3,000 Muslim soldiers. Okay? And he put the leader of them, he said, I will put 3 leaders. When the first one die, then the second can come. When the second die, then the third can come. Bin Haritha. Second, Ja'far. The third, Abdullah bin Rawaha. Okay? Abdullah bin Rawaha, he said, we came here to win or to be a martyr, to be a shaheed. Okay? So he encouraged them to go to fight. Okay? So they moved north, and the Roman, they moved south, and they met in Mu'ta, south of Karak. Okay? And the battle stayed 3 days. The first Sahaba Zayd, he was killed. Then after him, Ja'far. Again, Ja'far, he was holding the flag in his right hand. They cut his right hand, then he held in the left hand, they cut it, then he put it in between his legs and they stabbed him and he died And then the third one, Abdullah bin Rawaha, when they killed him, he kept running and fighting the Roman. That's why his tomb is not, his grave is not close to the others. So he died away from the other army. He said, follow me Muslim, I will kill as much as I can. Anyway, so the battle almost finished in that day, and next day Khalid bin Walid, the fourth leader, he decided not to continue the battle. He doesn't want the 3,000 Sahabi to be killed in this way. But in the first 3 days, the Muslim, they killed 70 of the Roman, and the Roman, they killed, I think, 9 of the Sahaba. Zayd bin Haritha, he was a servant for Khadija.
Yeah.
Khadija, the wife of Muhammad. And she gave Zayd as a gift for Muhammad to serve him. Okay? And Muhammad, he adopted him as a son. So
Yes.
they used to call him Zayd bin Muhammad. Okay?
Yeah.
Then in the Quran, Allah said not allowed to adopt people.
Yeah.
Not allowed, sorry. It's allowed to adopt without changing their names. Okay? So not allowed to make him your son. You can adopt him, but you cannot change his name. Anyway, so he was, we call it Hib Rasulullah, the most man, the Prophet, he liked him. Okay? The love of Muhammad did.
Yeah.
The family of Zayd, they came to Medina, and or to Mecca, I'm not sure. They came and they said, we need our son back. Because his Zayd, he was kidnapped. Before Islam, he was kidnapped and being sold in Mecca as a slave. Okay? So he said, his family and father and uncle, they came and said, we need our son. And Muhammad, he said, you ask him if he want to stay with me or if he want to go with you. I don't want money. So they offered money for Muhammad. So he said, I don't need money, just ask Zayd if you want to stay or to go. Zayd, he said, I'm staying with Muhammad. Okay?
So अब हम जा रहे हैं, अब हम करक पहुंच गए हैं। करक में जाफिर बिन अबू तालिब, जो अली रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु के बरदर भी थे, और रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के।
And again, Jafar, he is the one, he looked like his manners and his face, or his, like, he looked like Muhammad by manners and by looking as well.
जाफर रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु।
And the third one is Abdullah bin Rawaha. Abdullah bin Rawaha from Medina, not from Mecca. And he's from the 12 guys who made Al-Aqaba Al-Ula, the first agreement with Muhammad when they came to Mecca, and they agreed with Muhammad to support him to come to Medina. He's from the 12 men who made the bay'ah, we call it the bay'ah with Muhammad. Abdullah bin Rawaha is one of them.
So Jafar bin Abu
And he did fight in most of the battles with Muhammad, include Badr as well.
ये वो सहाबा है जो कि रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया है कि हर पैगंबर के साथ 7 कंपानियन जो उनके बेस्ट होते हैं वो होते थे, पर मेरे पास वो 3 हैं, और उनमें एक जाफ़र रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु थे। और जाफ़र रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु वो सहाबा हैं जो कि लड़ते वक्त शहादत से पहले उन्होंने झंडा इस्लाम का पकड़ा था राइट हैंड में, तो वो काट दिया, तो फिर लेफ़्ट हैंड में, और फिर वो काट दिया, तो पाँव में पकड़ लिया, और इसी तरह उनको शहीद कर दिया गया। तो अल्लाह रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने कहा कि जाफ़र विंग्स लेके जन्नत में जाएगा। तो जाफ़र अलैहिस्सलाम के बड़े भी जाते हैं और आपको दिखाते हैं। तो हम इधर हैं मस्जिद ज़ैद और मस्जिद जाफ़र बिन अबी तालिब की मस्जिद में हैं। यहाँ जुमे की नमाज़ हम पढ़ेंगे, और इसी जगह पे पीछे उनका मकबरा है। हम जाफ़िर बिन अबू तालिब जो अली रज़ियल्लाहु ताला अन्हु के भाई थे, उनके मस्जिद में नमाज़ पढ़ रहे हैं, और उनका मकबरा भी यहाँ पे। सो अब हमने नमाज़ पढ़ ली है, और अब हम जा रहे हैं हज़रत जाफ़र बिन अबू तालिब सहाबा जो थे उनके मकबरे पे वो यहीं जंग में शहीद हुए थे। ये जाफ़र रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हु का मज़ार है, मकबरा है। अल्लाह ताला इनके वसीले से हमारी भी मग़फ़िरत फरमाए।
इस साहबी का नाम है,
इनका नाम क्या है कुरान में? ज़ैद
only sahabi in the Quran mentioned by name.
ज़ैद बिन हारिसा।
कुरान में है, कुरान में है फलम्मा क़ज़ा ज़ैद।
वो माशाअल्लाह। पर ये रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के अडॉप्टेड सन भी थे। अभी हम जा रहे हैं ज़ैद बिन हारिसा के मज़ार पे, और अभी हमारी जो टीम के लीडर हैं ये आलिम दीन हैं, इन्होंने हमें बताया कि इनका नाम अकेले एक सहाबा है जिनका नाम कुरान में मेंशन हुआ है। तो हम उनकी मज़ार पे अब जा रहे हैं, और जाफ़र बिन अबी तालिब के ये मज़ार से हो आए हैं। Now we going to Zayd bin Haritha मज़ार, which is the only Sahaba mentioned in Quran. तो ये ज़ैद बिन हारिसा का मकबरा है। अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाह। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला इब्राहीम ने कहा मुझे। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला ये मूता जंग मूता में शहीद हुए थे। जंग मूता यहीं भी हुई थी, और जाफ़र बिन अबू तालिब और ज़ैद जो थे, जो रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के अडॉप्टेड सन थे, वो यहाँ पे शहीद हो गए। और अब्दुल्ला बिन रवाहा वो एनिमे के पीछे भाग रहे थे, तो वो थोड़ी सी उधर शहीद हुए हैं। तो हम उनकी मज़ार पे भी अभी जा रहे हैं। और नाउ वी हियर इन मकबरा ऑफ अब्दुल्ला बिन रवाहा। ही इज़ ऑल्सो शहीद हुए थे जंग मोता में, यहीं पे शहीद हुए थे। लेकिन ये थोड़े से दूर जाके एनिमी के साथ लड़ते यहाँ आके शहीद हुए। तो जाफ़र बिन अबू तालिब और ज़ैद को वहाँ दफन कर दिया था, और इनको यहाँ पे दफन कर दिया था। तो ये उनका मकबरा है। अस्सलाम वालेकुम व रहमतुल्लाह। तो ये मोता यहाँ पे मोता में लड़ाई
not far from the mosque, is 2 kilometers from here. So the Sahaba, they were not buried in the same place. New Muslim, this is a normal Sahabi, but at this battle, when the 3 of the companions fell, Zayd bin Haritha, then Jafar bin Abi Talib and Abdullah bin Rawaha, when they all were shaheed, the Prophet was sitting in Medina, and he was narrating to them, like he could see what's happening here. He said, Zayd has been martyred, Jafar has been martyred, Abdullah bin Rawaha has been martyred in Medina. He was telling the Sahaba.
Oh.
And then the next day all the Sahaba were like, what do we do now? And then someone said, let's make Khalid the army leader now.
Next leader.
And from before, people knew that Khalid radiallahu anhu, he was an expert in military and everything. So Khalid radiallahu anhu, he took the flag and he started commanding the army. And then the Prophet ﷺ, at that time, he said, now one of the swords from the swords of Allah has taken charge. And that's why he got the title Khalid bin Walid.
Khalid.
Sayfun min suyufillah, Sayfullah, the sword of Allah. And then Khalid radiallahu anhu, he was thought, on this side the Muslims were only 3,000, and on the other side was 200,000. So that's like one person has to fight 67 people, which is, it's impossible. Normally 1 between 2, 1 between 10, something like this. So Khalid radiallahu anhu said, listen, we need to be tactical, we need to play in a way, we can't run away, but we need to do something. So what Khalid radiallahu anhu did the next day, he changed. The people on the right, he put them on the left. The people of the left, he put them on the right. And people behind, he put them in front. The front, he put them behind.
So the next day, and then he took one small group and he sent them far away. He said, in the morning, come from far and start making dust, lots of dust. So when the Roman army saw from behind big armies coming, lots of dust, and then also they saw in the morning, these are all new people, because every day they're fighting the same faces. They said these are all, or this means they have got reinforcement. So because of that, they started panicking and they started retreating, and then they went back, and then slowly Khalid radiallahu anhu went back as well. And obviously they didn't lose the battle, but they left from there, and then they came back, and so it happened all here. And that's the time where Khalid radiallahu anhu, he became the army general at that, and after that he started leading many of the armies. And it is known that every battle with Khalid radiallahu anhu he led, or every battle which he took place in, he never lost. He's the only person in the Prophet ﷺ army before he became Muslim. Prophet ﷺ army lost to the army of Khalid radiallahu anhu. So he was a great companion, Khalid radiallahu anhu. So this is the place where gave birth to this great companion, Khalid radiallahu anhu. Also I want to mention, before we went to the third grave, the third companion, what was the name of the third
Abdullah bin Rawaha.
Abdullah bin Rawaha radiallahu anhu. So he was a very, very great companion. There's just one story I wanted to share about him. That one day he was lying on his mother's lap. He was lying on his mother's lap and he was reading Quran. He was reading Quran and she was listening to him. And then all of a sudden he started crying. So when he started crying, then his mother started crying. So then he stopped and he said to his mother, "Oh my mother, why are you crying?" So his mother said, "Ra'aytuka tabki fabakaytu." I saw you crying, so I started crying. So Abdullah said, "Oh my mother, when I was lying on your lap and I was reading Quran and I was reading Surah Maryam, and while I was reading the verses of Surah Maryam, I got to the verse where Allah says, وَإِن مِّنكُمْ إِلَّا وَارِدُهَا كَانَ عَلَىٰ رَبِّكَ حَتْمًا مَقْضِيًّا," where Allah says that on the day of judgment, every one of you will have to cross a bridge. Every one of you has to cross a bridge. The bridge we are referring to is a bridge of Sirat. And the description is أَدَقُّ مِنَ الشَّعْرِ, is thinner than the thinnest hair, sharper than the sharpest blade, 500 years up, 500 years across, and 500 years down. Very, very, big bridge. So Abdullah bin Rawaha, he said that I was reading the verse where Allah said each and every one of you has to cross the bridge. But Allah did not say each and every one of you will make it across. So because of that, my mother, I started crying. And I was thinking, Allah said everyone has to cross, will I make it across? And I started crying. So this was just one of the stories of Abdullah bin Rawaha, that subhanAllah, even when he was reading Quran, they're thinking on every point of it. So subhanAllah, this is a very, very blessed place. We came to the great companions here. Zayd radiallahu anhu, we just saw his maqam. He was like the family member of the Prophet ﷺ. He was like the family member of the Prophet ﷺ. He was like the son of the Prophet ﷺ, adopted son of the Prophet ﷺ. And Prophet ﷺ, he loved him so much. And this battle was very close to his heart, and that's why you see he sent his family members. And we can see from this as well, that is the companions, the Sahaba. Today we are Muslim. We are doing all these tours about Islam and all that. We are Muslim because of their sacrifice. We are Muslim because of their sacrifice. And this is something we need to remind ourselves, that Islam spread on the basis of sacrifice. It's not on the basis of comfort, sitting in our homes and relaxing. Islam requires from us sacrifice. The Sahaba, they sacrifice, they land. Look, how far is Makkah and Medina from here? It's so far, and they're buried here. We go so far up to Istanbul, we find the grave of companion Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. Oh, they left far away, they went right, they sacrificed. And that's why Islam, requires from us sacrifice. For us today, our sacrifice, Allah has made it easy. That from the 24 hours you have, you sacrifice, you make sure you read Salah on time. You sacrifice from the halal, you avoid the haram.
Okay, now we're going to Karak Castle. Okay?
So we are here in Karak Castle, which is again famous for Islamic army, so Salahuddin Ayyubi, and loads of other, this castle used for loads of other Islamic army as well. खुद थोड़ा सा करक कैसल के साथ व्यू भी दिखा दूँ. ये देखो, ये तोप भी पड़ी हुई है, हाय हाय हाय। तोप से तो ऐसे में ही मुझे डर लगता है। पर ये आप सोच लें कि यहाँ पे कितने हमारे मशहूर लोग जैसे सलाउद्दीन अयूबी और इन जैसे सब यहाँ पे आर्मी के साथ बैटल कर चुके हैं, जंग कर चुके हैं। ये व्यू देखें, और यहाँ बड़ी ज़ोरों की सर्दी है। और ये कैसल भी देखें कि कैसे आबाद है अभी भी। तो अब यहाँ आए हैं। इस कैसल में सारे मुस्लिम यानी कि उनकी आर्मी हुई है, ये अच्छी बात है। इसमें ममलूक थे, और ममलूक के बाद सलाउद्दीन अयूबी, और उनके बाद जो अर्तुगरुल के बेटे थे, मुझे उनका नाम भी नहीं आता। Just have a look how big is these rocks. ये rocks देखिए, ये इन्होंने कैसे उठा।
Okay, now this castle, what we are seeing now, most of it Mamluki who built it. Okay, on the top of the Crusaders, and the Crusaders they built one top of the Nabatean. Okay, now this is not the entrance. The entrance used to be from this is not the entrance. The entrance used to be from there, and used to be a drawbridge. They open it and they close it. Okay, and this is where they dig down. This is the moat. This is way of defending the castle, but was not filled with water. Just a gap.
कि ख़त्म होने वाली है मेरी और अब ये कैसल के अंदर जा रहे हैं। अगेन काफ़ी ऊपर चढ़ना है और आपको फिर दिखाते हैं। पर ये देखिए पूरा ये करक नज़र आ रहा है। ये पूरा करक नज़र आ रहा है इससे। और इस कैसल में ममलूक पहले आए थे, फिर इसके बाद सलाउद्दीन अयूबी, और उसके बाद उस्मान, जिसकी सीरीज़ आजकल नेटफ्लिक्स में चल रही है। कैसल के अंदर जा रहे हैं। यहाँ गुप अंधेरा है तो, लेकिन देखते हैं कुछ नज़र आएगा तो आपको दिखा दूँगी। ये देखिए कितनी खूबसूरत जगह है। पर खूबसूरत इसलिए है कि हमारे इस्लाम के बहुत बड़े जंगजू लीडर शोहदा इसमें आए थे। ये देखिए इस कैसल में हम जा रहे हैं। पर मैं वो हमेशा जब ऐसी जगहों को मैं राहत विज़िट करती हूँ ना, तो मैं उनके बारे में सोचती हूँ कि सलाउद्दीन अयूबी यहाँ चला होगा, यहाँ कौन आया होगा, यहाँ पे कैसे आर्मी हमारे इस्लाम के लिए लड़ी है। सो ऑलवेज ऐसे हो जाता है ना कि हम उस दुनिया में पहुँच जाते हैं। ग्रुप सब आगे आगे है, थोड़ा थोड़ा नज़र आ रहा है। पर आप लोगों को दिखा दूँ कि हमारी इस्लामिक हिस्ट्री कितनी खूबसूरत है। और ये यानी कि ये 12th सेंचुरी का है और अभी तक कायम है। तो कैसे बना है? अक्सा के लिए मशहूर है ना कि वो जिन्नात ने बनाया था एक रात में। अब हम फिर उसके बाद हमने कड़क को खुदाफिज़ कहा और अब हम जा रहे हैं। कड़क और ओमान के दरमियान में एक जगह है जहां हमारे लिए रेस्टोरेंट में लंच बुक किया गया है। वहाँ हम लंच करेंगे उस जगह पे, और फिर उससे भी अभी 45 मिनट का रास्ता है। और फिर उस 45 मिनट के रास्ते के बाद जब हम लंच खा लेंगे तो हम फिर लंच के बाद इंशाल्लाह ओमान की तरफ रवाना हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि ओमान में हमारा होटल बुक है और हम वहाँ रात रहेंगे। और बाकी की 3-4 दिन जो है, जितने भी दिन हैं, वो हम ओमान में ही हिस्टोरिकल प्लेसेस देखेंगे। एक ब्लेसिंग ट्री है वो देखेंगे, वो 7 केव जो है वो देखेंगे। इसी तरह कुछ और चीज़ें देखेंगे और थोड़ी सी हो सकता है शॉपिंग कर लें। शॉपिंग हमने कुछ चीज़ देखी है क्योंकि हम सब ग्रुप वाले इस्लामिक हिस्ट्री की शहदाई है और हमें सब सिर्फ इस्लामिक हिस्ट्री ही देखनी है। और हम उन जगहों पे जाना चाहते हैं जिस जगहों पे हमारे इस्लाम के बड़े बड़े हीरो, बड़े बड़े बुजुर्ग दीन गए हैं और उन्होंने लड़ाइयाँ करके और शहीद होकर हमारे लिए और अब हम करक और ओमान के मिडल में आ गए हैं। यहाँ पे हम कुछ सिवेनियर भी ले लेंगे और हमारा लंच भी इस रेस्टोरेंट में बुक है और कॉफ़ी वगैरह भी पी लेंगे, फ्रेश अप हो जाएंगे और फिर 1 घंटा यहाँ से ओमान दूर है, ओमान के लिए चलो निकल जाएंगे। मास्क से यहाँ हमारा सारा लंच बुक है, पर यहाँ पे ये चीज़ें हैं बहुत प्यारी प्यारी सी और मैं इनको लेना चाहती हूँ। ये कितनी खूबसूरत से बाएँ हैं और मैं इनको लेना चाहती हूँ बच्चों के लिए, क्योंकि मरीहा और नाफिस सुमैया रमज़ान में जब मस्जिद जाती हैं तो वो ऐसे पहनती हैं, तो मैं शायद यहाँ से थोड़ी बहुत चीज़ें ले लूँ। अमीरा और दीना भी अबाया पहनती हैं रमज़ान में। तो यहाँ हमारा लंच होगा अब।